Dave here with Half Dozen Customs, back out here on this Jeep tailgate again. Earlier this evening, this morning into evening, we got it all stripped and sandblasted down. I went in and did the whole dinner thing and whatnot, and showered after the sandblasting. It was quite the mess. So I came back out here a little bit ago, and I started cutting out some of these. I just nipped them out on my shear thing over there, rounded up the edges, and I made them so that they fit. Well, I made them so they fit this one. I'm gonna have to probably go around and, clean any welding slag or anything out of the other ones. Maybe do a little bit more trimming to get these to fit in there. But I got 4 of them. I'm gonna go ahead and get them tacked in right now. I'll leave the camera on so you guys can watch. I don't know if you can hear that, but it is pouring rain out. I'm having a hard time even hearing my TV, so I don't think that the recording's going to be very well. So we'll probably just put some music to this. Hopefully it'll just be a quick video of me just welding this stuff in and grinding it up, and maybe the rain will stop sometime soon here, so bear with the crappy music we play. Hopefully one day we'll get something a little bit better that we can play and not break YouTube rules. So, but yeah, check it out.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing. It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Okay, so I got these welded up. This top one is probably going to get a little bit more work done to it when our lock tab is in its final position and welded in. You know, it'll all get welded in nice and solid with that. I was kind of careful welding along this edge so that it didn't weld this tab yet, because it's just temporarily in place till, you know, final fitment. I didn't want to weld it in. So, but this one I got welded in completely solid. And I ground down and re-welded their weld here, and got it nice and flat. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna try and grind out that weld as best as I can, and hopefully, you know, when I do that, I get rid of any rust inside the holes that they left in the last time they welded it. Let's just hope I can get a nice clean weld is what I'm saying. When I welded on the outside of it, I was having a problem. The reason that I kind of re-welded it and cleaned it up is because there was, they welded it like crap. There was pinholes everywhere. You know, I sandblasted it pretty good, but inside those pinholes were rust, and you know, welding doesn't like rust, so it kept blowing bubbles in my weld, and then you grind down that bubble and then there's a hole there. You know, I had to hit it several times before that hole went away. So so hopefully we don't have that here, because I want a nice, clean, beautiful weld there. Let's see if we can grind that up, clean that up a little. Okay, so I got it ground out pretty good, and I went in there with my reamer, and I got rid of the pinholes that they had, and hopefully, you know, I don't see any rust in there, so, you know, I went in with the reamer into the pinholes and tried to dig out that area just in case there was any rust. Grounds help when you're trying to weld, just so you know. Always make sure you're grounded. Double ground if you can. Alright, it's a shame that I had to go in and kind of double tap that top part, but that is a much nicer weld than what they had. Let's see. So, you know, I don't know if you would call that a stack of dimes, but that is definitely not a stack of dimes. Or roll of quarters, roll of nickels, whatever you want to call it. That's a little nicer, I'd say. Just a little bit. Little bit. So let's you think I got a little penetration on it? Just a little. You think that that's welded good? Ay. Sometimes I amaze myself. No, the whole reason that I did that like that isn't because I didn't think that this was held on. You know, it's been on there for, 30 years probably. They said this truck was built last in the 90s. So, actually I want to flip this around you one more thing. But the reason that I did that was because they boogered this up and then they kind of grinded it a little bit, and then they smeared it with Bondo and sanded that up, and the Bondo was all cracked and shipping out, and it was rust in there, and it looked horrible. Now, I'm not saying that, had I cleaned that up and put a nice fresh coat of Bondo on there, it would have looked good. But it wouldn't have looked right. It would have had that like plastic look. You would have been able to tell that that was all bondoed in right there. I would much rather see a nice, clean, mechanical weld looking thing than a smoothed out bondoed weld, So, nice, pretty weld going in there will look a hell of a lot better all painted than a finger smear of Bondo ever would. So that's the whole reason that I did it. It was for aesthetics, I guess you could say. It was for the looks, so that it looked pretty.
You got a purty mouth.
You know what? What I was going to do, I was going to go in and weld up these pinholes in the corner, but I'm making new corner pieces, so we'll do that when that time comes. Let's just continue on with what we were doing. It's not straight from the program, I guess. So if you haven't seen the videos prior to this one, if you're new to the channel or you missed the previous episodes, those are tabs that I put on there so that when the tailgate shut, it was shut and where it was supposed to. It wasn't too far, it wasn't out too far when I was welding in the locking tabs. So it was just kind of a positioning tab. Those will probably get welded back on because I'm not done with positioning yet. It looks good. That was a nice weld. I like the way it came out. But I'm gonna grind it out and I'm gonna redo it. Simple reason being, if you look at the way the stack of nickels are going on this one, they're going down. This one, they're going up. I just welded it the most comfortable way that I could, not thinking that the way that the bead was going to be pushing was going to be opposite of the other. That's a shame. Okay, let's hope this weld comes out nice. I went the other way, how we ended up the wrong way is just because it was more comfortable to me to weld that way. So I'm not really comfortable at this right now, just the way that the welder is angled and the cord's pulling on it, and just awkward to me. Okay, so the camera died right as I finished that up. Much happier with that. The weld is going the correct direction now. It looks good. Nice clean weld. Matches that side over there. So, most people wouldn't even think of that like, hey, that weld's going the wrong direction. You paint it, you prime it, you smooth it out, whatever. Who's gonna notice? I don't know. I noticed it right away. As soon as I looked at it, I was like, shit, that weld's going the wrong direction.
It happens.
So, cleaned it out, got it going the right direction now. We're good to go. So, I'm much happier with that than what was there the first time. Not for me, but I'm happier with that. I'm sure my buddy that owns the truck, he'll be happier with that. I showed him that and told him that I was gonna, what I was gonna do, and he agreed that he would rather, see the weld than have it all smoothed out in Bondo. So I think we're on a roll with that. We got all the caps done. We cleaned up the weld on this side. Spotted in where it needed to be spotted in. Busted a nice weld on the inside. Yeah, I got some good penetration, I think, on that.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
So, this tailgate's starting to look like something now. So, not bad for a crappy little 110 welder. Imagine what I could do if I got a decent welder. I can't wait to start TIGging stuff. I've never TIGged anything in my life. But I'm looking forward to getting a TIG welder and learning, and I think that'll be pretty cool. But I'm happy with this. We're headed in the right direction. I don't have my watch on. It's on the charger. I'm pretty sure it's probably getting late. It was 10:15 when I started out here, so you know, it's probably 12:30, somewhere around there. So tomorrow we'll come out. What I'm gonna attempt to do is make a buck, which is those two pieces of wood that I made for these lower sections, and I hammered everything out and got that curved flange in there. Basically, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna cut a curve out of two pieces of wood. We'll sandwich a piece of metal in there, and then I'm gonna hammer it over, and we're gonna get the curves going for inside this tailgate corners, and we're gonna get those done tomorrow. If for some odd reason the buck doesn't work, because that is going to be a tight, not only a tight roll, but a fat piece of metal as well, because it's got to be the inch or whatever to match up with this rectangle stock. If it doesn't come out well and I'm not happy with it, what we'll do is we'll cut 4 pieces, and I'll roll them through the roller, and then we'll weld those in, and then we'll just cap the top of them. I would prefer to do it in one piece. That's why I'm gonna attempt to do the buck. Should work. May have to use some heat. We'll play around with that tomorrow and see how that works out and how that goes. So you know, I've made the bucks in the past. You guys have seen that, and it's worked out great. This is just a lot tighter of a curve and a lot thicker of a flange. So you know, it should work. I don't see why it wouldn't, but we'll play with that tomorrow. So I am out for the night. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. See you guys later. Bye-bye.